If we will not only receive the love of God, but receive it in ourselves to start loving ourselves, rolling up your sleeves on yourself and starting to love yourself. You said it's not about us, it's not about me. I was trying desperately to love others. I was trying to be a good wife, a good mother, a good minister. I was failing miserably because I had loving behavior, but I didn't have love for myself. And you cannot give away what you do not have. Things where you run after those things in life, and then you get there and you look around and you think, this is it? This is what I chase so hard after? We do that with so many things, and that's what it was for me. Getting up on that float, I looked around and I thought, I'm still the same person. I'm still seeing in the mirror the same things. I still have the same issues and trials and temptations and all of those things. You know, it's not just about this. There was interior stuff, or internal stuff, I should say, going on that the crown and the costumes didn't take away. I want to encourage somebody that if they're struggling today, to create an environment for yourself where you're not always having voices coming at you, more voices that are telling you what you already feel for yourself. Get away the magazines, get away all of those types of things, and really more than anything, start getting in the Word of God and lining up your thoughts with what God says about you. Okay, new leaf, new life, don't have to talk about these things anymore, let's cut that off and move on. And I think that's what we do as women. We learn really well how to cope with things, how to cope with our pain, but we don't ever really deal with them. The more that God shows me that His love is flowing through me, but as it's coming out of me trying to love the world, it's coming out impure. Because it's touching all of my insecurities. It's touching all my fears about myself. All my anger from my past, all my regret, all the shame, all of that was still with me in my relationship, and it was affecting everything. In jealousies and rage, just outbreaks, just craziness. We give God our sin, but we don't give Him the shame that's associated with the sin. Well, 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then will I hear from heaven. And there's the if-then principle. If we'll do our part, God is more than willing to show up and to do His. So the book is done in the way that it is not a book of reading. It's a great story. The backdrop is a day in the life at Disney. How it ends that day is magical. But that's the backdrop of it. But it is a teaching. It's a real teaching. Every chapter has those questions, self-examining questions. It's a do book. You read it, but you do it. And you've been where I've been. And that's what happens when we turn the wounds into scars and we let them speak. And that Mark 12, it talks to us about loving God, to love God with all of your heart, mind, soul, and strength, to love your neighbor as yourself. The as yourself has been left out. And I can't love you with a love that is full of jealousy, that is full of hatred for myself, because now shame's not shutting us up anymore. We could talk about where we were, because what happened to us or where we were or what we did is not who we are. There's two different things there. And so now that we're a child of the King, now that we're daughters of God, we can go out and we can share where we've been, what we've done, and not be ashamed of it. That's where it has to begin. You know, to me, I tried to change the outside, and it only just left me more confused and more frustrated. And when God started doing the work from the inside and I started getting over my own self-issues, I realized that my problem was not with God, it wasn't with other people, it was within myself. And so once I got healing and I was able to, you know, take those wounds and heal them completely, it makes for a great ministry. It makes for great every day of hands-on.